Okay, so before I actually start talking about anything, let me just say that this video is going to be a little bit different, you know, just a little bit, to the other like 10 videos I've made about people finding out about my channel at school. You know, I mean, at this point, it's just fucking, I'm just not even, like, I'm just getting bored of it. That's what I'm trying to say. You guys know I've made so many videos based on school, most of them being about people finding out about my channel, because back then, when no one would find out about my channel, it was like a weird thing for people to find out. So every time one person would find out, I'd make a video about it. And now I've got like 7 videos with more or less the same title, thumbnail, topic, and people aren't really going to want to click on the video as much as they would if I only made one of those. And it's just got to a point where I'm just getting bored of talking about this shit, but this was a little bit different to the other videos I've made. And not only that, but I did put on Instagram if you guys wanted me to make a video about it, and basically everyone who replied to it said yes, apart from 2 people. So yeah, I'm making a video about it. If you don't like it, just I don't know. Okay, so this happened yesterday, right? It was at the end of the day. It was literally the last lesson of the day. My day was going perfectly fine up until this moment. I mean, it did. What actually happened wasn't that bad. I'm making it seem like something tragic happened, but no. So it was the final lesson of the day. It was media, okay? Not really sure if that's what it's called in America, but I'm sure they have something similar or the same. I just don't know what it's called. But it was the final lesson of the day, and I had media. So, and as soon as I got in there, the teacher was, I can't really remember why, but she was asking like a question, not to me, but like to the whole class. And it was, who do you follow on Instagram? And my friends that sit on my table were already in there. The friends that already know about my Instagram or YouTube or whatever, they were already in there sitting down on my table, right? So if you guys don't know, I do YouTube videos and I also do Instagram. I've been doing Instagram a lot longer and a lot more often. So as soon as I heard the teacher ask that question, who do you follow on Instagram, I instantly knew it was going to be a shit lesson, honestly. Like, my friends are the type of people to basically, like, if they know something about you and you don't want other people to know about it, they'll basically take the piss out of you and annoy you about it. So obviously, you know, I don't really care if people find out about my Instagram or YouTube now, but I'd rather just not have it out there, you know what I mean? Like I said, my friends in there already know about my Instagram or YouTube or whatever, so as soon as the teacher asked that question, I instantly knew that they were going to say something, and that's exactly what happened. She asked, who do you follow on Instagram? All my friends just said Polosaurus Rex, but they didn't say it out loud. They were doing it pretty quietly, just to piss me off and annoy me. So they were saying that, you know, obviously I was trying to keep it quiet, I was trying to shut them up, change topic or whatever, and the teacher gave us like 2 minutes to think about who we follow on Instagram. So that was like a question asked to the whole class, not just us. And then after that, she would ask certain people who they follow on Instagram to tell to the class, because it had something to do with what we were doing that lesson. And of course, out of, you know, probably about 30 kids in that classroom, I was the first one to basically just tell everyone who I follow on Instagram. But as soon as I got chosen, I kind of wanted to move off of that as quick as I could, because the longer that it goes on, there's more of a chance that my friends are going to, you know, say it a little bit too loud, and then something would happen from there. So as soon as I got asked that question, who do I follow on Instagram, I just said my friends. Although I said that to get out of it as quickly as I could, I wasn't actually lying. I think I only follow like 16 or 17 people on Instagram. I think it's just because I don't have a personal account, so I only follow my friends or just people from my school, because I kind of use it as a personal account as well. But yeah, so that was my answer to her question. I said that it was fine or whatever. I was hoping she would move on to a different table, because most of my friends in that class, or at least the ones that would actually say Polosaurus Rex, they were the ones that sit on my table. So if she would, you know, go to a different table, I would be alright with that. But no, instead she actually asked my friend sitting next to me. And at this point, I don't even know what happened, because like, I can't remember what my friend said. It wasn't actually him who exposed me in front of the whole class. What happened was, it went silent for like a split second, and the teacher, well, actually no, he wasn't a teacher, he's kind of like a, I don't know, he's like a technician, because, you know, in media they do deal with a lot of editing and, you know, computers and shit. I don't even know what he is. I'm pretty sure he's a technician for all of that. He's like a side teacher, basically. He doesn't actually fully teach, but he works in that department with the teachers, so he's kind of like a side teacher slash teacher. I don't fucking know, but he was actually sitting down in that class, you know, joining in with the discussion or whatever. And when the class went silent for a split second, that teacher slash help teacher slash technician slash whatever the fuck, he somehow knows about my Instagram and YouTube, but I'll get to that part in a bit. He somehow knows about my Instagram, because he said something like, aren't you famous, whilst he was looking at me and the class was silent. I don't think that was exactly what he said, but he said something like that. Aren't you famous? I thought you were famous. I don't know, I can't remember what it actually was. And as soon as he said that, my friends on my table, they just started bursting out laughing, because they knew exactly what he was talking about. And it wasn't actually just my friends on my table, there's like other people in there that know. They started started laughing as well, and basically from there, I was just fucked. In my head, I was just thinking, yeah, this is gonna be a great lesson. It was literally like 3 minutes into the lesson. And what happened after that was my teacher at the front of the classroom, she said something like, "Are you famous online?" And I said no, because literally 160,000 followers on Instagram is not famous. It is nowhere near to being famous, so I said no, and I kind of just thought it would stop there. But after that, she said, "How many followers do you have?" And this is where it gets confusing for me, because you had basically the whole class wondering what I was about to say. I had my teacher looking at me because she just asked me a question. The help teacher was looking because, you know, he was the one who actually brought this whole thing up. My friends on my table were laughing and whispering stuff about me. Basically, there was so much going on in my head that I was just sitting there like this. I was just trying to think of ways to get out of that situation, which, you know, at that point is going to be pretty hard. The only thing I could have possibly done in that situation to stop it was just getting up and leaving, which obviously I'm not going to do, even though I do sit right next to the door. But yeah, so I was just sitting there like this. You know, my teacher just asked me a question of how many followers do you have. I didn't want to answer it because I know that if I did, there's going to be a lot of follow-up questions. But regardless of me answering it or not, literally like 2 seconds after getting asked the question, my friend just says it for me. And from there was like a few follow-up questions that I can't remember. I just went along with that bit, answered any of the questions that my teacher asked me. And yeah, that was that. I answered a few questions, and you know, from there you'd expect it to just be over with. But no, of course not. Just as it was about to die down and we were going to move on to something else, the same fucking teacher, help teacher or technician or whatever, he says he's got a YouTube channel as well. Like, thank you very much for that. I really wanted to risk my video getting played on the projector. That would have been great, wouldn't it? You know, my video playing on a projector in front of 30 kids in my class. That definitely wouldn't be awkward or anything. That would have been great, you know. Thank you for that. Thank you. So after he says that, this is the part where I get the feeling that he's low-key hating on my channel, or he just doesn't like me in general, you know, for whatever reason. Because he described the type of videos that I make, and he said, oh, he makes those videos where you edit every single breath out. Basically talking about my editing style. You know, you've probably noticed it. How I kind of cut in between every sentence. Like right now, I've been recording for 52 minutes, and you know, we're probably only like 3-4 minutes into the video. And by the way, I only cut that much because it cuts out all the stuttering and everything. So yeah, I don't know if he was actually just stating that, or if he was actually low-key hating on my editing style. You know, he brought on my Instagram and then my YouTube, and then, you know, said about my editing style. So yeah, from there, I can't remember what happened, to be fair. All I know is it was kind of used as an example of whatever we were doing in that lesson. And yeah, the rest of the lesson was kind of irrelevant to this video. That was how my Instagram and channel was exposed to the whole class. Honestly, I didn't really care. It was just kind of embarrassing and a little bit awkward. Most of that comes from, you know, the fact that I actually hate talking in front of a lot of people, even though, you know, I'm kind of doing it on video right now. But yeah, so I've been recording for an hour. The video is probably like 5 minutes or something. But yeah, so I think that's all I have to say for this video. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like if you did. And at this point, my webcam started lagging really badly because of how long I was recording for. So I couldn't actually finish the outro, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely subscribe if you're new here to my channel. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in my next one.